Welcome back to our channel where we share updates and untold stories about Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. Today we bring you some significant news. Princess Anne discloses the king's last desire, leaving Prince William and Harry astonished. Insider sources indicate that Prince William and Prince Harry are astonished by Princess Anne's announcement on their brother's ultimate desire for the monarchy, which King Charles has tasked her with implementing. The whole royal family is astonished by King Charles's desire in light of his health concerns. Princess Anne has disclosed a royal secret that is garnering attention originating directly from King Charles, which astonished both Prince William and Prince Harry. The Princess Royal sent a very emotional appeal from the monarch. It was not only unexpected, it was profound, personal, and astonishing to the extent that even his sons were rendered speechless, uncertain of its implications for the future of the monarchy and their family. Quiet changeover. Prince Harry's solitary appearance at Windsor was unmistakable. Meghan's absence conveyed more than words ever could. The personnel could sense it as well. This was not only a conventional royal family assembly. Their subdued accents conveyed it clearly. Harry's solitary appearance underscored the significant estrangement between him, Meghan, and the rest of the royal family. Within the confines of the ancient palace walls, the stillness was palpable, as if everyone was suppressing many thoughts they wanted to express. The heightened security indicated that this was not a matter of casual conversation or reconnection. The discussion pertained to the future of the monarchy. No one, including Prince William, was aware of its destination. King Charles, who typically presides over such meetings, remained mute. He requested Princess Anne to represent him. This alone violated royal custom and indicated that this time was exceptional. Charles had been seldom seen recently, and those who saw him recognized his evident deterioration in health. King Charles appointed Princess Anne to represent him. Anne, recognized for her directness and composure, was not only a pragmatic selection, it signified an alternative meaning. In a family that often avoided confrontation, Anne was the one who could be relied upon to speak candidly. Her presence in the forefront clearly conveyed the gravity of the situation. The seating arrangement conveyed significant meaning. Family members were arranged in a circular formation rather than the conventional hierarchical structure. The physical difference between Harry and William was evident, a quiet testament to the divide that had developed over the years. Traditionally, King Charles would have personally addressed the family, expressing his authority as the king. By selecting Anne, Charles sent a sense of both confidence and immediacy. Anne represented a connection between tradition and progress, illustrating the need for the monarchy to adapt while preserving its fundamental principles. When she finally articulated her thoughts, her words penetrated the tension with precision. This was not just another royal announcement. It constituted a significant turning point. The anticipated gradual transfer of royal responsibilities was unexpectedly expedited. Prince William seemed astonished. The crown was no longer years away, as he had presumed it was just months away. The family was immediately split in discourse and viewpoints after Anne's speech. Prince Edward, always the peacemaker, found himself unexpectedly embroiled in the conflict. Even Camilla, who never expresses her opinion in such instances, remarked that the changes were progressing too rapidly. All individuals were attempting to comprehend what they had just heard, and long-standing tensions rapidly resurfaced. Charles saw he had no alternative. His condition was deteriorating. Given the monarchy's existing vulnerabilities due to scandals, public skepticism, and familial discord, a prompt transformation was imperative. He had devoted several sleepless hours to developing this strategy, confiding just in a select few individuals he trusted implicitly. Assigning Anne to convey the message was not only astute, it was deliberate. He needs somebody capable of delivering difficult truths without unnecessary embellishment. This extended beyond only bestowing the monarchy on William. The discourse centered on reevaluating the role of the monarchy in an increasingly skeptical society. Surveys indicated a rapid decline in support for the monarchy, particularly among the youth in countries beginning to scrutinize the institution's relevance. Charles saw that they could no longer adhere to the same narrative. He proposed a daring initiative, a reduction in the number of royals on duty, more public access to the palaces, and total transparency about the monarchy's financial management. Concepts formerly deemed inconceivable have now been presented as the only answer. William remained the heir. However, the kingdom he would inherit was markedly different. It would no longer pertain to parades and crowns. It was essential to remain relevant, have an effect, and adapt to contemporary trends and changes. The occurrence at Windsor was not only a congregation, it served as an admonitory signal. The ensuing quiet was not only unexpected. The sound of history being changed resonated, heritage shaped by adversity. Charles did not arrive at this conclusion arbitrarily. It originated from a lifetime influenced by royal expectations, personal sacrifices, and remnants of historical catastrophes. In 1936, the royal family was profoundly unsettled when Edward VIII abdicated the throne to marry his beloved Wallis Simpson, an American divorcee. This occurred within less than a year after his ascension to the throne. This decision unexpectedly thrust his younger brother George VI into an unanticipated position, almost jeopardizing the monarchy's stability. That occasion imparted a difficult lesson to the Windsors. Change may occur rapidly and not necessarily according to their preferences. Upon the death of George VI in 1952, at the age of 56, due to coronary thrombosis during sleep, his daughter Elizabeth ascended to the throne at the age of 25. She was youthful, unready, and confronted with an insurmountable load. Nevertheless, she embraced the challenge, and for the following 70 years, she remained the only constant in a changing world. However, even with her consistent leadership, the royal family faced covert pressures. Charles was raised seeing his mother embody self-sacrifice. She devoted everything to the crown, her time, her liberty, and even her personal contentment. Queen Elizabeth started her formal royal responsibilities when her first two children were still in early childhood. Following her coronation, she and Philip notably began a 6-month Commonwealth tour, leaving Charles and Anne in England. His mother belonged to an age and social class that often delegated the everyday care of young children to domestic workers. In his youth, Charles quickly understood that royalty was not a fantasy, but a responsibility. He saw his mother as distant and indifferent due to her demeanor. For Elizabeth, assuming the role of queen included relinquishing her individuality. Her death in 2022 resulted in the kingdom losing more than just its longest-serving sovereign. It detached from its anchor. Her demise revealed the inherent fragility of the underlying circumstances. Subsequently, shortly thereafter, Charles received a cancer diagnosis. Suddenly, he was no longer just the new king. He was a guy in a relentless pursuit of time. Charles had anticipated the coronation for decades, only to discover that his reign may be brief. Historians saw the irony. The monarchy often postpones changes until they are almost overdue. Charles opposed such an outcome for William. He understood personally the detrimental effects of assuming the job under pressure, devoid of preparation. He started strategizing not just for his departure, but also for a better transition. Despite his reputation for patience, Charles was suddenly in haste. The monarchy, once a symbol of strength, had now become fragile. Each function he attended was discreetly supported by a medical staff. He executed each appearance with precision. He had studied the downfall of other European royal houses after hasty abdications, and was resolute in avoiding a similar error. Liberalism, nationalism, and the catastrophic consequences of World War I in Europe illustrated the mortality of hereditary monarchy, revealing its vulnerability to extinction. He started implementing audacious strategies that would have been inconceivable in previous administrations. He advocated for complete financial openness. He also endorsed requests from the Ethiopian government for the restitution of religious objects seized by British soldiers during the 1868 Battle of Magdala. He also suggested converting sections of royal estates into affordable dwellings for the general populace. Simultaneously in private, William and Kate started assuming more responsibilities. Insiders said that William has now obtained the renowned red boxes carrying government documents, a subtle but unmistakable indication that Charles is transferring authority. This moment transcended mere succession. The focus was on survival. Charles did not prioritize legacy in the conventional royal manner. He aspired to establish a monarchy capable of enduring in a dynamic world, one that was not anchored in the past, but could adapt and change. one that would be prepared when William's moment arrived. In redefining the future, Charles was doing more than just preparing to relinquish his position. He demonstrated that even an antiquated crown may adapt to contemporary circumstances while maintaining its significance. The schism that destabilized the monarchy. No royal family is exempt from discord. Nonetheless, the schism between Prince William and Harry has emerged as one of the most visible and distressing separations in contemporary history. Once close siblings, their bond has deteriorated due to personal grudges, public scrutiny, and divergent aspirations for their futures. The causes of their discord are intricate. It encompasses years of heightened media scrutiny disputes on royal responsibilities, and Harry's choice to withdraw from the royal family with his spouse Meghan Markle. This action astonished the globe and created waves inside the monarchy. Interviews, memoirs, and public declarations have exacerbated the schism, revealing intense emotions and lingering conflicts. For William, the future monarch, Harry's departure was seen as a betrayal. He has assumed more responsibilities resolute in his commitment to preserve the monarchy's traditions and stability. Harry has pursued a new identity outside the confines of the palace, emphasizing personal autonomy and psychological well-being. Their divergent trajectories have created a chasm that neither party has completely reconciled. This schism impacts more than just the siblings. It has unsettled the whole royal family and enthralled the public's imagination. It prompts inquiries on loyalty, obligation, and the essence of royalty in the 21st century. Is the family capable of healing these wounds? Is the monarchy entering a new period characterized by division? William's spouse, Kate, may possess some empathy for her brother-in-law. Following Harry's explosive interview subsequent to the denial of his security appeal, the Princess of Wales is allegedly encouraging her husband to reconcile with his estranged brother. Speculation circulating indicated that divorce is inevitable. As she progresses along this trajectory, Kate has encouraged all members of the working royal family to adopt a more lenient stance towards Harry, initiate communication, and ultimately reconcile with one another. This is what Charles yearns for. Nevertheless, the reality of the situation may make circumstances more challenging. Although improbable, Kate is exerting much effort, cognizant that the family cannot endure any tragedies or scandals. Kate's resilience stemmed from her ability to stay grounded while navigating a family rooted in tradition and hierarchy. She is recognized for effectively managing public difficulties. Her approval ratings routinely surpass those of the majority of other family members, even William on occasion. Kate Middleton has discreetly emerged as the essence of the royal family. Her affection, particularly towards Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, and Prince George, underscores the profound connections she has established within her family. Even the Queen's notoriously finicky corgis, who have always been wary of outsiders, seem to lower their defenses in the presence of Kate. In a family often characterized by emotional restraint, Kate has adeptly integrated a more nurturing and emotionally engaged approach to parenting, all while preserving long-standing traditions. Rather than violating royal traditions, she has been integrating a more human element into them. However, circumstances have changed significantly. The royal family no longer resides inside palace confines. Currently, many actions are recorded, uploaded, and monitored by millions worldwide in real time. This markedly contrasts with the era of Queen Elizabeth II, when it took hours, if not days, for news to disseminate across distances. They may also be disseminated via reputable broadcasters. A single tweet or video clip may influence global headlines within seconds. Each royal engagement presents a possibility for viral attention, but every blunder threatens to ignite a public relations crisis. Charles recognized that the regulations had altered the instant he ascended to the throne. He responded swiftly. He promptly established the Royal Social Media Council. This convened traditional advisors and astute young digital specialists. Their responsibility was to maintain the monarchy's relevance in the digital realm. Initially, several traditionalists were uncertain about its implications. Concerns arose that the royals may pursue notoriety or compromise their dignity. However, the outcomes were exceptional. The council now assumes a pivotal role in the background, monitoring worldwide internet responses, detecting difficulties prior to their escalation, and assisting in the formulation of the family's public communications. In a recent BBC interview, Prince Harry articulated his desire to reconnect with his family, particularly with his father, King Charles, whose health is deteriorating. "I desire reconciliation with my family," he said. "Continuing to fight is futile. Existence is invaluable. I am uncertain about the duration of my father's life. He refuses to communicate with me due to this security issue. However, reconciliation would be desirable." He expressed his last wish. The reign of King Charles has been fraught with challenges. However, underneath the formalities and rites is a profound, inherently human desire, one unrelated to power or legacy. In the late hours of the night when silence envelops the earth, acquaintances of Charles report that he often revisits old picture albums. He dwells on images of his kids William and Harry as carefree youths when their connection was unassailable and life was more uncomplicated. He does not aspire to reintegrate Harry into the royal family. The opportunity has passed. However, he yearns for something little and delicate, such as a dialogue between father and child, an opportunity to break the quiet. Despite the widening gap between father and son, Charles never completely severed connections. When direct communication grew too painful and complex, he resorted to reliable intermediaries, individuals capable of conveying his messages without exacerbating injuries. For him, family transcends mere decision. It is an obligation, a presence that remains constant regardless of distance. "My mother reigned as queen for an extended period. While you are somewhat aware that something may occur, you do not contemplate it much. That constituted my existence. There was no indication that it was not usual. To my knowledge, several others had a similar upbringing. However, it was the notion of assisting children in the uncomplicated, direct approach to health. Charles understands the need for the monarchy to remain resilient. However, he is aware that the institution is founded on human connections, and those connections, particularly between fathers and sons, need defense even when they are strained. As his health deteriorated, the burden of this optimism intensified. Time, formerly plenty, now seemed perilously limited. Consequently, during a subdued family assembly at Windsor, Princess Anne expressed her thoughts. Renowned for her integrity and esteemed by both siblings, she articulated her brother's desire candidly. She asserted that reconciliation was not only a benevolent notion, it constituted an obligation. Nevertheless, even Anne had doubts about its feasibility. She has seen both parties entrench themselves with pride and anguish, exacerbating the divide. Although she conveyed Charles's word accurately, she recognized it was really a partial victory. The outcome would hinge on whether either son was prepared to bridge the breach. Ultimately, King Charles's last desire was not concerned with royal image or legacy. The matter was much more intimate, the aspiration that his family may reunite before it became too late. William confronts a significant decision. Will he fulfill his father's desire for a preliminary approach to reconciliation? Will he definitively terminate Harry's exit from royal life? This choice will influence family relations and alter public opinion of the monarchy for decades. The British public observes attentively, cognizant that the cohesion or discord within the royal family impacts the institution as a whole. Regarding this matter, royal analyst Hilary Farage told Fox News, over time, the divide has expanded between Prince William and Harry primarily due to Harry's progressively public disparagement of the royal family, most notably exemplified by his recent BBC interview. Prince William is more determined to implement change upon ascending to the throne. His primary priority is safeguarding the monarchy, which he perceives as diminished by capitalist pursuits. Within the palace confines counselors and strategists engage in intense deliberation over the optimal course of action. Some proponents argue for a complete separation, eliminating titles, defining lines of succession, and refining the monarchy to concentrate only on individuals who are wholly dedicated to royal responsibilities. This group contends that such decisiveness would enhance the institution's stability during a period of change. Nonetheless, others warn that a sudden termination might be counterproductive, perhaps eliciting popular sympathy for Harry and Meghan, particularly if it aligns with King Charles's deteriorating health. Royal historians caution that historically fragmented royal families have often undermined the monarchy's prestige and popular backing. The history of historical family conflicts, exemplified by the abdication crisis of Edward VIII, underscores the dangers associated with internal disagreement. Individuals in William's inner circle indicate that he is exhibiting more confidence and a readiness to undertake challenging, sometimes controversial choices. Charles's last communication to his son was not just a plea for cohesion. The situation assessed William's vision for the monarchy's future and his capacity to reconcile institutional needs with familial allegiance difficulties. The real identities of the royal brothers beyond their titles and public personas. The disclosure of the king's ultimate desire unveiled the actual identities of William and Harry, not only as princes, but as siblings. Influenced by affection competition and the considerable demands of royal existence, William represents the monarchy's future. He bears the crown's burden with a feeling of obligation instilled from youth. His identity is interwoven with history obligation and the expectation to lead with honor. However, under the composed front exists an individual grappling with the task of updating a venerable institution while preserving its heritage. I believe that achieving peace with my family is contingent upon the revelation of the truth. Harry's identity is multifaceted. His decision to withdraw from royal responsibilities was a courageous declaration of autonomy, a quest for identity outside the confines of the palace. Harry embodies a new kind of royalty, one that contests traditions and endeavors to establish his own trajectory. His challenges with mental health and the scrutiny of the media have made him relatable in ways that few anticipated. The king's last desire compelled both brothers to face their true identities and the significance of their relationship. It served as a reminder that despite their differences, their connection is anchored in a common past and familial affection. This moment of vulnerability facilitated possible healing and a redefining of their connection. This discovery should be regarded seriously by the monarchy. The future relies not alone on procedure, but also on the authentic relationships among its principal actors. The evolution of William and Harry's relationship from antagonism to comprehension may influence the monarchy's legacy for future generations. William's subdued transformation. As Prince William approaches the throne, it is evident that he intends to govern distinctively from his father. King Charles often adopted a more subdued and restrained demeanor, but William has a propensity for candid communication, delineating clear boundaries and making difficult choices promptly. Insiders indicate that a preliminary indication of this transition is that upon his ascension to the throne, William may officially revoke the Royal Highness titles of Harry and Meghan. Actually, they retain the titles, but they ceased using them after withdrawing from royal responsibilities. For William, the ambiguous zone is not only uncomfortable, it is detrimental in a world where every news disseminates globally within seconds. He asserts that the monarchy must clearly delineate its representatives from non-representatives. This conviction was further solidified by a recent occurrence. A foreign ambassador inadvertently addressed Meghan as Her Royal Highness in a public statement. The little error underscored for William the persistent confusion and lack of resolution around the situation. He believes that such uncertainty can no longer be permitted to persist. He believes that if an individual opts to relinquish royal responsibilities, they should not retain titles that imply otherwise. It pertains to equity, transparency, and safeguarding the integrity of an institution, perpetually scrutinized by the public. What is your opinion? Will the eldest son fulfill his dad's last request in the long term, or will he prioritize the security of the monarch? Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for the time being.